Aside from your allowance, from your regular budget, nakakatanggap po ba kayo ng envelope just like Yusek Mercado and Director Osias from ASIC Paharda?
Yes, sir.
Magkakano?
Minimal amount lang po.
Which is, how much po?
It's not even, ano.
Magkano po? So, paano po ninyo sasabihin na complete kung hindi naman niya nakita? Could you please clarify us? Paano niya sasabihin na complete ang isang dokumento kung hindi naman niya nakita yung loob?
Miss
Parang
Catalan.
hindi po yata match.
Honor, it has to be Miss Catalan who will answer such.
Yes, sir.
Paano po kayo magse-certify ng isang dokumento na complete and proper nang hindi nyo nakita? Hindi po ba kayo nagtaka na nagse-certify kayo ng isang dokumento na complete and proper pero hindi nyo naman nakikita yung laman ng loob?
Unfortunately, that was the case, sir.
You were requested, but tapos medyo kalakaran na may lagayan sa loob. Kaya nga ako, ma'am, I want to just express my my sympathy to you. Naawa talaga kami sa inyo. Napipilitan kayong permahan yung isang bagay na hindi tama. Ngayon kung may kaso, pag lumabas yung NDA, yung finality nun, tatamaan kayo dyan. Ano process? Ako, Mr. Chairman, sabi ko nga, naawa lang ako dito sa mga officials ng DepEd. Pag ganito yung kalakaran. Ngayon, dalawa na. Baka sunod, hindi lang dalawa. Diba? Kaya, Mr. Chairman, at least ngayon, umami na si ma'am. Tama na ako. Okay na ako, Chairman. Thank you.
Ibinunyag ni Department of Education or DepEd Chief Accountant Maria Runa Catalan sa pagdinig ng House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability ngayong Martes, November 5, na nakatanggap din siya ng sobreng naglalaman ng cash na 9 na beses na ibinigay sa kanya ni dating DepEd Secretary Sunshine Fajardo mula sa liderato ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Sinabi ito ni Catalan sa pagpapatuloy ng pagdinig ng House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability ukol sa umano'y fund misuse ng Office of the Vice President at ng DepEd sa pamumuno ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Tinanggap daw ni Catalan ang cash envelopes mula Pebrero hanggang Setyembre 2023 at nang usisain kung para saan iyon. Sinabi umano ni Fajardo na allowance iyon mula kay Secretary na tumutukoy kay Vice President Sara Duterte. This is just an allowance from the Secretary, ani Catalan. Si Catalan ang ika-4 na opisyal ng DepEd na umaming ilang beses na tumanggap ng cash envelopes mula umano sa Vice Presidente. Una nang umamin sa House panel sina Attorney Rusty Osias, dating chairman ng DepEd Bids and Award Committee, at Dr. Gloria Mercado, dating DepEd Undersecretary, na inabutan umano sila ni Fajardo ng cash envelopes mula kay VP Sara sa parehong panahon o mula Pebrero hanggang Setyembre 2023. Samantala, dati nang inamin ni former DepEd Yusek Michael Poa sa komite na may pagkakataong tumanggap din siya ng cash mula mismo kay VP Sara noong Disyembre. Sa parehong hearing ngayong Martes, ibinunyag ni Poa na nag-resign na siya bilang tagapagsalita ni VP Sara at hindi na rin siya consultant sa Office of the Vice President.
Ms. Catalan, nakapag-oath na po ba kayo? Last hearing, nakapag-oath na? Okay. Yes, please continue, Congressman Paduano.
Ma'am, are you still with the DepEd?
Yes, Your Honor.
And please tell us about your present position in DepEd.
I've been the chief accountant since 2010
Until now?
until now.
Until now. So, you're aware of this liquidation report that was submitted by COA to this committee. And your name was affixed in this liquidation report. And you have a signature on this liquidation report.
Yes, sir.
So you're aware.
I am aware of the face copy of the liquidation report, but the supporting documents were not presented to me.
So it was not presented to you, you just signed it?
It was,
You're the chief accountant?
yes, sir, but it was just a formality that it should be covered by a liquidation report. But,
No, but supposedly you're the chief accountant, you have checked.
but per joint circular, sir, it was stated that the liquidation report plus the supporting documents shall be submitted by the disbursing officer direct to the ICPAO without any presentation to the chief accountant.
Yung ICPAO po, saan po department under yun?
COA, yung Intelligence and Audit Office ng Intelligence and Confidential Funds.
COA, do you confirm it?
CR break lang po si Attorney Camora, sir.
So, okay. I will wait for Atty. Zamora. So, ma'am, are you telling this committee na ministerial lang yung sa'yo?
Come again, sir.
Are you telling us na ministerial lang po kayo? Pumirma kayo dito without looking at the liquidation?
Honestly, yes, sir, I will say yes.
Oh, di may problema. Because if ever a case will be filed against dito po sa liquidation na may problema, pumirma ka dito, di part ka ng case.
But then again, sir, under the joint circular, it was clearly stated that the documents and supporting documents to the liquidation report shall be directly submitted to the COA. And it means that it will not pass through the accounting.
Oh, GMC, COA, pakicheck nga, shall.
Mr. Chair, with the indulgence
Congressman
of
Acop, you're recognized.
Madam Accountant, mukhang mali yata. If you read the joint circular, there's a provision there. Teka, hanapin ko. Kasi may kopya ko nun eh. Nakalagay doon, under paragraph 4.16, in case of misuse of the intelligence or confidential fund, and depending on the participation in the transaction, the budget officer, chief accountant, the treasurer, and the project officer may likewise be held accountable with the special dispersing officer. So you can be accountable, madam. It's a provision of the joint circular.
But then again, Your Honors, per provision 6.1.8.4, it was stated that the supporting document should be submitted by the... No, it's not. So sorry, again. That...
Mali yung binabasa mo. 6.1.8.4?
My apologies, sir.
Oh, kasi mali eh.
Okay.
I have a copy of your circular here. Binabasa ko nga eh.
So it was under 6.2, the liquidation of the cash advance. It was stated under 6.2.2, all cash advances for CF and IF shall be liquidated within 30 days after every quarter and from the approved date, target date of completion. Submission of the liquidation report duly signed by the head of agency or SDO, approved by the head of agency, together with the supporting documents under section 6.2.3 hereof and listed in the covering transmittal letter of the LR. This shall be submitted directly to the ICPAO in a sealed envelope with a visible label confidential for ICPAO only through any of the following: registered mail courier and authorized licensed officers. So, under this provision, it was clearly stated or implied that the documents didn't pass through or were not reviewed by the accounting office.
So how do you reconcile that with paragraph 4.16? Sige nga. Kasi ini-excuse mo yung sarili mo because of a provision of the circular. But the same circular says that you can be accountable. How do you reconcile that?
could be stated here, sir, but honestly, and as I didn't, it was not presented really to the accounting office, the supporting documents.
Hindi po yun ang tinatanong ko, madam. Ang tinatanong ko po, dinidepensa mo yung sarili mo using a provision of the circular, but the same circular states na ikaw ay accountable. How do you reconcile that? Kasi nasa akin yung kopya ng circular ninyo, ng COA, eh. Kaya nga ako nag-intervene dahil ini-excuse mo yung sarili mo sa liability. Pero the circular says that you can be liable. Diba? Yeah? You read 4.16. Wala pa yung COA, eh.
May we know from the representative of COA to be clarified as on the matter?
Your Honor, based on the documents from our confidential team, the liquidation report that was signed by Ms. Catalan, certified supporting documents complete and proper, as the accounting unit. But then, if looking at the joint circular, it's stated there that the liquidation report in Annex E should be signed by the SDO, the accounting unit, or the SDO, meaning SDO Special Disbursing Officer who was given the cash advance of the confidential fund, the Special Disbursing Officer. So if she was not the SDO,
Ano po yung sinicertify ng accountant?
when she signed the liquidation report of the 37.5, certifying that the supporting documents complete and proper.
So, paano po ninyo sasabihin na complete kung hindi naman niya nakita? Could you please clarify us? Paano niya sasabihin na complete ang isang dokumento kung hindi naman niya nakita yung loob?
Ms. Catalan,
Parang hindi po yata match.
Your Honor, it has to be Ms. Catalan who will answer such.
Ma'am, how can you certify something as complete and proper if you did not verify what is the content of the documents?
Sir, it is a standard procedure that every liquidation document should be covered by a signed
No, but
liquidation.
that is common sense eh.
Yes, sir.
Paano po kayo magse-certify ng isang dokumento na complete and proper nang hindi nyo nakita? Hindi po ba kayo nagtaka na nagse-certify kayo ng isang dokumento na complete and proper pero hindi nyo naman nakikita yung laman ng loob?
Unfortunately, that was the case, sir.
Did you bother to ask the legal department or the COA na bakit kailangan dumaan pa po sa inyo? Bakit nyo kailangan i-certify ang isang bagay na hindi ninyo ini-inspeksyon o tinitingnan?
It was one of the requirements, sir, and I was made to sign that document, unfortunately.
Chairman, I would even ask...
Congressman Paduano,
yes, thank you,
please
Chairman.
continue.
And I asked Ms. Catalan, yung tenure of office niya since 2010 pa. And I think they're doing it since then without checking the liquidation report. And ano po, pumirma lang. But ma'am, eto ngayon nandito sa akin yung GMC, yung binasa mo is 4.2. Eto mama, yung 6.3.3. Eto specific mandate of each and every officials which covered by this GMC. Ito, 6.3.3. The agency accountant. It's you, ma'am. Tama? And look at 6.3.3D. paragraph D. You are mandated to submit all disbursement vouchers for cash advance for intelligence and confidential activities / projects, with complete required supporting documents within 7 working days from release of the check. Oh. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na you're not accountable. Hindi mo rin pwedeng sabihin na diretsong ibigay sa COA. Because malinaw po sa mandate mo that you have to submit disbursement vouchers, confidential activities and projects with complete required supporting documents. Oh, within 7 days.
Can I respond, Your Honor? The 6.1.8.4 pertains to the pre-audit of the cash advance.
I'm telling about, no, that is not 6.8.4. I'm saying about the 6.3.3B.
6.3.
Inconsistent with the provision that was read by Chairman Acop. Your mandate. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, it is on record that that the chief accountant of the DepEd never bothered to check the liquidation report. He just signed it without looking at the details of such report. And it is on record, Mr. Chairman.
May I respond, Your Honor? This is the first time that we have encountered cash advances for confidential fund. But for the regular cash advances for regular funds, we always ensure that the documents attached to the liquidation of the cash advances were complete. But again, for this, this is the first time that we have encountered these cash advances for confidential fund. And the procedure seems quite different, actually, and honestly.
But of course, you have the Joint Memorandum Circular, and there is a provision with regards to the mandate of the Chief Accountant, the SDO, and all other officials of agency. Malinaw po yun, ma'am. So, I think once again, Mr. Chairman, it's like to put on record na inamin po ng Chief Accountant ng DepEd na she never bothered to check the authenticity, the correctness of such liquidation report, Mr. Chairman.
Sir,
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am, please.
May I correct the word not bothered? That I did not bother to check the completeness of the documents. During that time, no matter how, maybe, this is the first time ngayon may cash advance ng confidential fund, but I was made to sign it. So,
You were made to sign it. By whom?
because it is a requirement that the liquidation should be covered by the liquidation voucher.
What does this, ma'am? That is your mandate. And
Yes.
your statement that you signed it without looking at the details, di ba? And that is on record.
Yes, sir, it was...
O ano ngayon yung gusto mong i-explain?
Sir, I'm trying to explain that it was stated sa joint circular that it seems or implied that the documents, supporting documents, should be directly submitted to COA in sealed envelope.
And that is your interpretation, ma'am, that we have read the GMC.
Yes, sir.
O now? What? Are you telling this representation that I'm wrong? And Chairman Acop?
No, sir, my apologies if you have misinterpreted what I'm trying to
No,
explain.
I did not misinterpreted you. You're telling me that my statement is not correct.
No, sir, I'm not saying, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm trying to explain on why I signed that liquidation.
Oh, tell you to sign the document. Are you forced to sign the document?
Not really forced, but I was
What, not really?
requested to sign the document.
Oh, you signed the document, but you never bothered to read this mandate of yours?
Ma'am, who ordered you to sign the document? Who ordered you to sign the document?
Not really ordered, but I was requested by...
Yes, who requested you to sign the document?
kay ASEC Shine Paharda.
Sino po?
Si Assistant Secretary Shine Paharda.
Sunshine Fajarda. Okay.
ASEC, sa anong department po?
Department of Education po.
Ano, specific na ano niya, position?
Office ng Secretary.
The office of the secretary. But he was not the signatory of this document, di ba? Only her husband. Tama?
It was,
Edward Farda signed it. BP signed it and you signed it. But you were requested by Ms. Farda?
yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, all the more that we have to, Ms. Sanjay Farda should be present in the next hearing. Para po patutunahanan yung statement ni Ms. Catalan. Sabi na natin, you were requested to sign it. So why did you sign it? As per request of Ms. Farda?
Yes, Your Honor, because it is needed as a covering letter or covering document to the liquidation documents, supporting documents.
Oo nga, pero sabi ko na nga, kaya may statement ko kanina, you don't even bother to check. Pumirma ka lang. Di ba? No, it's either it's your lapse or you were forced to sign it without checking all those liquidation report. Di ba, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
O, ano bang tama? Nagkamali ka lang? Nakaligtaan mo i-check? Or you were forced to sign it without checking the liquidation report?
It's hindi po nakaligtaan, but it is a needed document in the submission of the liquidation.
Of course, I know it. It is needed you have to sign it. But ang question is, sabi accountable ka, ma'am, because of your mandate or your position, di ba? Now, sabi ko na, nakaligtaan mo or you were forced?
I was requested, sir.
Hindi nga. Saan ba? Nakaligtaan mo or you were requested?
You were
requested na firmahan ka agad without checking the liquidation report?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, again, kung anong word gagamitin, requested ba o she was forced to sign it without checking the liquidation report, ganun pa rin yun. Di ba? Ganun pa rin yun.
Ma'am, meron po akong isang tanong. Nakakatanggap po ba kayo ng envelope kay ASEC Paharda? Yung totoo po, ma'am. Remember, you are under oath. Aside from your allowance, from your regular budget, nakakatanggap po ba kayo ng envelope just like Yusek Mercado and Director Osias from ASEC Paharda?
Yes, sir.
Magkakano?
Minimal amount lang po.
Which is, how much po?
It's not even,
Magkano po?
it's 25,000.
25,000. How many times po? If you could recall.
9?
Ilan?
9 times.
9 times. From what month up to what month? Let me guess. From February to September?
I think so, sir.
So, nung September po, tumigil na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just like Yusek Mercado. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, thank you po.
Mr. Chairman, lastly, I'd just like to manifest, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, can I, last
Yes.
na lang po. Ma'am, actually, ma'am, talagang naawa din ako sa inyo. Kasi, tingnan mo, accountable ka dito. Sabi mo kanina, ni-request ka. Pero, ang labas pa rin, ganun eh. You were requested, but, tapos, medyo kalakaranan na may lagayan sa loob. Kaya nga ako, ma'am, I want to just express my sympathy to you. Naawa talaga kami sa inyo. Napipilitan yung permahan yung isang bagay na hindi tama. Ngayon kung may kaso, pag lumabas yung hindi, yung finality nun, tatamaan kayo dyan. Ano po, ako, Mr. Chairman, sabi ko nga, naawa lang ako dito sa mga officials ng DepEd. Pag ganito yung kalakaran. Ngayon, dalawa na. Eh, baka sunod, hindi lang dalawa. Di ba? Kaya, Mr. Chairman, at least ngayon, umamin na si ma'am. Tama na ako. Okay na ako, Chairman. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senior Deputy Speaker, Don Gonzales, you're recognized.
Ma'am, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to address my question to Ms. Catalan, ma'am, the accountant. Ma'am, Mr. Chairman, siguradong dumaan sa iyo itong check na to, di ba? You're the accountant. Yung 37.5 million. Tama ho ba?
Your Honor, hindi po dumaan sa akin yung cheque kasi ang napadala po sa amin ay voucher.
Tama.
It-
Meaning to say, the voucher is the basis sa preparasyon ng cheque. Hindi ho ba? No.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
definitely, there is a date put in the voucher and they will follow that date in preparing the check. So the check was signed by, of course, Yusek Sevilla and Yusek Mercado. Ang napansin ko lang po dito, in your recollection, 2023 yung isang check, that was February 20, 2023. That's number 1 check for the 37.5. Number 2 check, I thought this is quarterly. Ang date po ng check is April 19, 2023. It falls down to 1 quarter. Isang quarter lang po yung dalawang check na issue. Ang pangatlong na check na issue po ng November 23, 2023. At hindi po, na-issue po pala yung pangatlong cheque is July 11, 2023. In your recollection, tama ho ba itong cheque and based on your obligation, on your voucher during the processes of the vouchers into check?
Parang tama po, Your Honor.
Tama. So, tama ho ba yung tanong ko na per quarter at dalawang cheque po yung ginawa niyong 37.5 in 1 quarter? Tama ho ba?
No, Your Honor. Per quarter po siya.
Per quarter is February.
February for the first quarter, and then yung April for the second quarter, and then yung July for the third quarter.
So, tama ho ba?
Po.
Okay. So, that is equivalent to 37.5 times 3. That is equivalent to 112.5 million. Number 2 question po. Itong 125 million under Gina Acosta, ang date po ng check-in na is July 13, 2023. Halos nagkasabay lang po yung July 11 ng DepEd at saka yung July 13 ng OVP. Ang OVP is 125 million and the DepEd is 37.5 million. Kaya ang tinatanong ko po, wala na po yung land bank, umalis na? Sabi na. Umalis na po yung land bank? So, meaning to say, ang July 11 at saka yung July 13, ang na-withdraw po is 37.5 million at saka yung 125 million. Tama ho ba sa, hindi po kayo OVP pala, DepEd kayo. May OVP ba dito? OVP? Sa management, po. Wala. Kasi kung tingnan mo itong dalawang cheque, isang mukha lang po ito 2 days lang po ang diferensya. July 11 and July 20, 2023 of the amount of 37.5 and 125 million. Kaya tinatanong ko po sana yung land bank, kaso wala na. Next hearing ko na lang po, Mr. Chairman, tanungin. Kasi tatanungin ko siya kung paano niya na-withdraw itong tatlong cheque at saka itong 125 million. So, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman, yun lang po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, SDS.
Chairman.
Interject
Yes, Congressman Lara, please.
Yes, yung tanong chairman ni SDS Dong para sa OVP. I think nandito si Attorney Bunga, baka pwede niyang sagutin yung tanong ni DS Dong.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
if I may
nandito
be-
ang OVP, former din naman.
Mr. Chair, if I may be recognized. Wala pa kasi ako sa OVP nung 2023. I was with DepEd at that time, sir. So I really wouldn't know kung ano yung nangyari dyan.
Ano po kasi dating nakita ko lang po itong cheque
Opo.
na yung date kasi halos magkapareho po yung date.
Yeah, opo.
So July 11, 2023, yung last check, the 37.5, at saka July 13, 2023, yung 125 million.
Opo.
So meaning to say,
Malapit. Opo.
summation of that two equivalents to sum.
Yes, sir.
Yun po yung sinasabi
But,
ko.
yun po. Unfortunately, sir, I got out of DepEd nung nag-resign si VP, which was already July 2024.
Siguro we can ask the former undersecretary or the spokesman of the Vice President, Attorney Powa, if are you still connected with the, well, I understand that you are no longer connected with DepEd, but how about in the office of the Vice President? Are you still connected?
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I would like to inform the Honorable Committee that I am no longer connected po with the Office of the Vice President. Hindi na po ako, yung consultancy contract ko po was already pre-terminated, Your Honor.
Not even as a spokesman?
Wala na rin po ako as spokesperson.
Okay, but
Opo.
are you aware of the status of the people who are subject of the subpoena?
Opo.
Are they still connected?
Honestly, Your Honor, when I was still there, yes, they were connected with the OVP. Although, as of today, hindi ko na po talaga masabi factually if they are still connected or not. I would assume because of the position paper with the letterhead that they're still connected. But I cannot confirm that because nagpaalam po ako, nagpaalam po ako na umalis prior pa po to the previous hearing that we had.
Mr. Chair, I assume
Yes, Congressman Nabante.
that Attorney Powa knows all of these people personally, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your
Oo.
Honor.
So therefore, siguro, at present, alam mo pa rin kung sino yung connected to Vice President.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who are those people still connected with the Vice President?
Your Honor, as far
As you know it.
as far as I know, those people are still connected with the Vice President. Although as of today, I really do not have personal knowledge. But as far as I know, they are still connected with the OVP.
Mr. Chair, how about Ms. Lopez? Is she still connected?
As far as I know, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
Yeah,
Your-
Emmanuel Gonzaga Ortoño.
Yes, Your Honor. As far as I
How
know.
about Rosalyn Ladores Sanchez?
As far as I know, Your Honor.
Gina Acosta?
I don't have any interaction po with her, but when I was there, yes, I know that she was connected with those.
About Julieta Villa del Rey?
As far as I know, Your Honor.
Edward Fajardo?
Yes, as far as I know.
And
Your Honor.
Sunshine Chari Fajardo?
As far as I know as well, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I would assume that if all of these are connected with the Vice President, it is the Vice President herself that asked them not to attend this hearing.
So may I know if all these subject persons that were mentioned by the Honorable Abante are still, do you have any travel update?
Your Honor,
Are they still? Yes, Congressman.
Mr. Chair, may I also... Mr. Chair.
Congressman Sia.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. In line with the question of Chairman Abante, well, I'd like also to ask Attorney Pao, because she mentioned certain number of names, and you confirmed that they are still connected with the Office of the Vice President. Would you also know if an individual by the name of Kelvin Tuntinido and Maria Edelyn Rabago are still also connected with the Office of the Vice President?
Your
Attorney
Honor,
Powa. Please
Mr. Chair.
response.
Your Honor, I am not familiar with them because when I was spokesperson, I only dealt with the upper management. Although yung Mr. Kelvin, I think I recall his name.
Yeah.
Although I cannot, in all honesty, say if he's
But
still connected.
when the time that you were connected with the Vice President, have you met these people?
Briefly,
Would you say that- yeah?
briefly, Your Honor, because of the budget hearings that
Okay.
time.
Are they career officers of OVP?
I honestly wouldn't know, Your Honor.
Thank
Kasi
you.
I was only a consultant, Your Honor, so I beg your indulgence on that.
Okay, thank you, Attorney.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the fourth public hearing of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. Before we start, we thank our guest resource persons and witnesses for understanding why we had to postpone the previously scheduled hearing on October 28. Ito ay upang matulungan bumangon muli ang ating mga kababayan na lubhang nasalanta ng Bagyong Christine. Narito tayo ngayong araw upang talakayin muli ang issue ng pondo ng bayan. Pondong mas nailagak sana sa mga kababayan nating naapektuhan ng mga nakalipas na bagyo. Earlier this year ay pumasa sa Kamara at inaprubahan ang Republic Act No. 12009 o ang New Government Procurement Act. Binabalangkas ng batas na ito ang mga pundasyon ng government procurement, kabilang dito ang prinsipyo ng transparency, competitiveness, and participatory. Ngunit pagdating sa confidential funds, binabalanse ang prinsipyo ng transparency sa national security. Kung kaya't kapag confidential funds na ang pinag-uusapan, hindi basta-bastang nalalaman kung saan ito ginagamit at kung kanino dapat bumili. This committee, however, recognizes that confidential funds are necessary to ensure safety and national security. Ngunit dahil ang confidential funds ay natural na palihim kung gamitin, madaling maabuso ang paggamit nito, lalo na kung hindi mahigpit ang patakaran sa paggastos nito. Natural lamang na ang mga pagkakalooban ng confidential funds ay mga ahensyang mapagkakatiwala ang gagamitin ito para sa mga programang pangseguridad ng bansa. Ito ang pakay ng inquiry ng komiting ito. Inaalam natin kung, number 1, saan at paano pwedeng pagsamantalahan ang confidential funds. Number 2, ano ang ahensya ng pamahalaan ba ang karapat-dapat pagkalooban nito? At ang ikatlo, ano ang dapat ilagay sa batas upang maiwasang maabuso ang paggamit nito upang protektahan ang kaban ng bayan mula sa mga abuso. Ganun na lamang ang pagkadismaya marahil ng karamihan sa mga natutuklasan natin dito sa House Blue Ribbon Committee. Nakita natin dito kung paano ginamit at ginastos ng Office of the Vice President at ng Department of Education ang pondong kompidensyal na ipinagkaloob sa kanila sa mga taong 2022 and 2023. Marahil, pwede nang masabing improper ang gamit sa confidential funds ng mga ahensyang ito. Upang mas mabigyan pa tayo ng linaw, nararapat na masagot ang katanungang ito. Anong nangyari sa pera ng taong bayan? Masasagot lamang ito ng dalawang tao. Una, ang head of agency, which in the case of both the OVP and the DepEd is the Vice President. At ikalawa, ang Special Disbursement Officer, SDO, na sila Ms. Gina Acosta para sa OVP at Mr. Edward Fajarda para sa DepEd. Ngunit ni isa sa mga ito ay hindi nagpapakita sa atin. Pakita po yung slides.
Your Honor, the Information Technology Department is having difficulty in flashing it. There you go, Your Honor.
Dito po makikita po natin yung dalawang slides na nagpapakita po ng matrix kung paano po ginamit ang 2022 and 2023 OVP and DepEd confidential funds na na-release, in-encash at niliquidate ng Vice President at SDOs. Indicate other signatories to the DV's checks, LRs and ARs and their relationship to the VP. Ang tumitestigo lang sa ating investigasyon ay sina former USEC Gloria Mercado at USEC Annalyn Sevilla mula sa DepEd, ang dating SDO ng DepEd na si Edward Fajarda ay napag-alaman naming lumipat na sa OVP. Hindi maiiwasang magtaka ang iba na bakit OVP at DepEd lang ang nakasalang sa usapin ng confidential funds. We have to start somewhere. At dahil nasimulan na natin ito, nakita natin na ang mga kaduda-dudang justification sa gastos para sa safe houses worth 16 million for 11 days at 15 million para sa youth leadership program kung saan pondo naman pala ng Philippine Army ang ginamit. Our inquiry does not end with 15 or 16 million or 73 million. Sa totoo lang, 612.5 million ang kabuuang halaga ng confidential fund ang ibinigay sa OVP and DepEd sa loob ng 2 taon. Dito po makikita po natin ang graph showing disbursement to OVP and DepEd totaling 612.5 million. Nasaan na ngayon ang 612.5 million? Sino ang gumastos nito at para saan ito ginastos? Dahil dinisalaw ng COA ang 73 million confidential funds ng OVP, ating siniyasat kung bakit ito nangyari, saan napunta, at paano ito ginamit. Ngunit kung susumahin ang lahat ng confidential funds ng OVP at DepEd, ito ay abot sa higit kalahating bilyong piso o 612.5 million. Base sa salaysay ng mga testigo at mga dokumentong nakalap, lumalabas na pawang hindi ka panipaniwala, haka-haka o gawa-gawa lamang ang mga proyekto at programang pinaglaanan at ginastusan ng confidential funds. Kumbaga, bogus, dahil hindi may paliwanag kung saan ito talaga manapunta. Sa mga nakaraang 3 pagdinig ay natuklasan natin ang mga sumusunod. Una, para po sa taong 2022, kasama sa 125 million confidential funds ng OVP na ginastos, sa loob lang ng 11 araw, ang 16 million nito ay ginastos para sa upa at maintenance ng 34 safe houses. Sa 16 million na ito, makikitang may isang safe house na ginastusan ng 1 milyon base sa mga acknowledgement receipt para lamang sa 4 na araw. Lumalabas na 250,000 per day ang upa at maintenance nito. Marahil kahit mag-check-in ka pa sa mahal na hotel dito sa bansa ay hindi aabot ng ganitong kalaki ang iyong bill. Para sa taong 2023, the OVP spent confidential funds amounting to 125 million for the first 3 quarters, or a total of 375 million. The OVP spent for safe houses alone 16 million in the first quarter, 16 million in the second quarter, and 5 million in the third quarter. Next slide, please. Dito po makikita po natin emphasizing the amount spent for safe houses in relation to the months it supposedly covered. Talaga bang kinakailangan nila yung mga safe houses na to? Legitimate po ba yung paggastos nila dito? Bakit kaya hindi na sila gumastos para sa safe house sa buong taon ng 2023? Pangalawa, aside from the anomalous and unreasonable amounts paid for the safe houses, for the other expenses po na ginamitan ng confidential fund ay may similar pattern. Hindi reasonable ang halaga at mas malala ay umabot ng 612.5 million ang gastos na suportado lamang ng acknowledgement receipts with only basic details which can be easily fake. Pangatlo, napag-alaman din natin na ang certifications mula sa infantry battalions ng Philippine Army ay ginamit upang palabasing may natanggap na mahigit 15 million ng confidential funds ang Army mula sa DepEd. Subalit, mariing pinabulaanan ito ng mga mismong pumirma sa mga certifications. Hindi rin alam ng ating mga sundalo na ang kanilang certifications ay gagamitin ng DepEd upang suportahan ang paggasta sa kanilang confidential funds. Sana ba talaga ginastos at napunta ang pera kung hindi naman pala ito ginastos para sa Philippine Army? In Audit Observation Memorandum number 2024-015 dated February 1, 2024, first AOM, the COA flagged the report. Payment of rewards to the informers in the amount of 7,509,000 in the first quarter of 2023 and 8,031,000 in the second quarter of 2023 because these expenditures were not supported with required documents. In sum, this amounts to 15,540,000 of public funds. Walang ebidensya kung saan ginastos at walang konkretong pagpapatunay na ito ay pinamigay bilang kantimpala sa mga taong nakapagbigay ng mahalaga at makatotohanang impormasyon maprotektahan ang ating mga kabataang estudyante. Sa nakaraang pagdinig at nagmula kay Atty. Powa utos kay Yusek Mempin upang humingi ng katibayang maibibigay sa COA upang patutuhanan ang paggasto sa confidential funds. Si Yusek Mempin naman, na dating commander ng Task Force Davao, ang humagilap ng certifications at ginamit na nga ito ni Atty. Powa sa pagsagot sa first AOM ng COA. Sinabi ni VP Duterte sa kanyang letter dated April 17, 2024, first AOM response na hinanda ni COS Powa, the 15,540,000 was used for financial rewards given to informers for leads and or integral information received, which supposedly allowed the DepEd to formulate narrowly targeted programs, information campaigns, and intervention against recruitment, violent extremism, and other criminal activities in specifically identified communities. Pinapalabas sa sulat na kabilang sa mga programang kanilang finormulate ay ang Youth Leadership Summit o YLS, and Information Education Campaign, IECS. Ngunit ito ay tahasang pinabulaanan ng mga AFP officers na pumirma sa mga certifications na hiningi ni Yusek Mempin. Pang-apat, lahat ng mga testigong humarap sa kamera ay nagsabing hindi nila alam nasaan ang pera at saan pumunta ang pera. As stated by Atty. Powa, when it comes to confidential funds, only two persons can answer the question: the VP herself and the Special Disbursing Officer, Mr. Edward D. Fajarda. Subalit, wala na si Mr. Fajarda sa DepEd. Siya ay nasa OVP na at kabilang sa mga tumatangging humarap sa ating pagdinig. Marahil, mas makabubuting kung sa halip na mag-presscon ay dumalo na lamang sa ating mga pagdinig upang harapin ang mga katanungang ito under oath kabilang ang kanyang mga tauhan. May paliwanag o wala, isa lang ang tiyak na sagot. Malamang hindi napunta ang confidential fund sa mga estudyante pati sa kanilang seguridad. The numbers drawn came from the very documents submitted by the Vice President. To close, I emphasize that the discoveries made by the committee is just the tip of the iceberg. Marami pa po tayong kailangan malaman at mahalagang dapat malaman kung saan napunta. Malinaw na madaling abusuhin ang confidential fund kung masyadong maluwag ang mga panuntunan sa paggamit nito. COA has been basically reduced to the ministerial task of checking whether the documents required to be submitted with respect to the confidential expenses are complete, without even checking the veracity of the information contained in these documents, compared to the audit of regular funds where transactions need further substantiation. This must be addressed to prevent not only leakage of government resources, but to close an avenue for graft and corruption. The mission of the committee is to craft a bill considering these revelations to regulate and ensure the proper use of confidential funds. Maraming salamat po.
Mag-subscribe at i-click ang notification bell para sa mga susunod na video updates. Maraming salamat po.